Hi everyone, so today we're going to go through assignment 6 in your ELA package 2, which is structure of a short story. Looks like that. So in this assignment we're going through a special story structure that we call plot. So there's 5 key elements to a plot. There is the introduction or exposition. It's 2 different words, same thing. We have the rising action, the climax, falling action, and the conclusion and the resolution. So think of it like we're climbing a hill. We start in the introduction at the bottom of the hill. We climb up the hill in the rising action. At the climax, we reach the peak of the hill. Falling action, we're going down the hill on the other side. And conclusion, we've now completely walked over that hill. So this plot structure is followed in most stories. And it's just a way that authors are able to better organize their stories when they're writing to ensure that they're making a good story. So now that you've read The Medicine Bag, your task is to think back to what you read, look at the descriptions of each 5 elements, and place the story on that hill. Where's the introduction in Medicine Bag? What happens during the rising action in Medicine Bag? Where's the climax? And then continue with the falling action and the conclusion. So here we have an example of what that plot structure would look like in Cinderella. As you notice, this is more of a weird hill with a big cliff. That's because sometimes the climax doesn't happen right in the middle of the story. So your hill might look a little bit different. So we all know the story of Cinderella, or I'm assuming we all know the story of Cinderella. Cinderella, she's a sad sister with 2 stepsisters. She lost her father and she's living with a stepmother and they don't like her. That's kind of the introduction where we learn all the basic information about her. So then in the rising action, that's where we take all the steps to get to the climax. That's when the story starts progressing. So she gets an invitation to the ball. The stepsisters are going to the ball. The fairy godmother appears and turns her into a beautiful princess. Cinderella goes to the ball. Cinderella dances with the prince, but leaves hurriedly at midnight. The prince says he will marry the woman whom the slipper fits, and the climax is when Cinderella fits the slipper. The falling action is Cinderella runs away and marries the prince, and they live happily ever after. So I know the climax doesn't happen right till the very end of the story, and a lot of stories are like that. Go through the Medicine Bag again, fit the story into the graphic organizer on the next page, and you're done. Now once you go through this, you may notice that what you think is the climax, somebody else might think the climax is something else. This is figuring out the plot of a story can be a little difficult. When me and my mom, actually, because my mom read The Medicine Bag because she saw it sitting on the kitchen table, we walked through this, and me and her both had completely different ideas of what the climax was and where the rising action stopped and where the resolution was. But as long as you can explain to me in detail of what you think the climax is and where you think the introduction ends and what the resolution is, I'll take that. I want to know your opinion. I want to see how you saw the story. So don't worry if you feel that I'm going to think you're wrong. Don't think that. I want to see your thinking. And if your thinking is justified in what you explained, then awesome. So with that, keep going, and you're done assignment 6. So good job.